All right, guys. So we're finding the surface area of the cone, find the surface area of the hemisphere. We find this to be 60, the surface area of the hemisphere here to be 60.75 pi. All right. So now this is the part where we are going to blow some minds here, because if you think about this, surface area is like the area of the outside of the shape. So if we're thinking about surface area, you had that Pepsi and Coke assignment. It was like the cardboard used, all right, on the outer part of the shape. Just like if we're gonna, like we have this shape right here, it's just like if we're the paper on the outside or anything like that. It looks kind of like an ice cream cone. So we're just looking at the space on the outside. So if you think about it, a cone, oops, oops, all right, there we go. Let's back up. So a cone, when we're talking about surface area, when you find the surface area, you're also finding the area of this bottom circle, okay? This bottom circle. However, in our shape, this bottom circle is not on the outside anymore. It's not on the bottom. So that bottom circle is gone. So we're going to take that away. We don't want that. Same thing with when we're finding, oh my goodness, when we're finding the surface area of a hemisphere. It's the same thing. We have our hemisphere, but the top of that hemisphere is no longer exposed to the outside of the shape. It is now inside the shape. So we're not worried about that. So what we're going to have to do, and if you notice that circle that I'm talking about, that is a great circle. So the cone and the hemisphere intersected a great circle. So that when we found the surface area of these two, it included that surface area of the great circle. Well, we don't want that because we put them together. That great circle is not on the outside of the figure anymore. It's on the inside. So it no longer pertains to this shape. So what we have to do is we have to find the area of that great circle, which is going to be pi times 4.5 squared. Okay, so that's going to be 20.25 pi. Okay, so not too bad. Area of a circle. But here's the part. There's two great circles. There's one for the hemisphere and there's one for the cone that are not on the outside of the shape because it's like an ice cream cone. So what we have to do is we have to add up to find the total surface area. We have to add up and we're going to switch colors here. We'll go green. 78.75 pi. And we're going to add up 60.75 pi. All right, so we're going to add those two together. Now, when we add those two together, we're good. We got that part. But we're going to take that value and we're going to subtract out both of those great circles. Okay, so we're going to subtract out 2 because we have two great circles. 2 times 20.25 pi. So you have to plug that all in your calculator. I'd put this in parentheses and then put this part in parentheses. And as long as you do that, you can do it in one step. And so our total surface area is going to be 311.01 meters squared. All righty. So for number 11, our last one here, same thing, but this one is just asking for the volume. So the volume is the space taken up on the inside. So surface area is kind of like the paper used on the outside. Volume is you're filling it with water, okay? So this is going to be a little bit different. So we got our first figure and our second figure, okay? So our first figure is that hemisphere up there, and our second figure is a cylinder. So they have a silo, all right? It's on a farm, like that's what I think of, like a silo to store grain. So we're gonna have to find the volume of the first one. So the volume of the first one looks like we're gonna get cut off in this video, but we'll finish this one up in the next one, okay?